Okay, what did you guys think about the main theme of the story? I thought the main I personally thought the main theme of the story was acceptance because Augie is trying needs to accept that life and going to school is going to be hard, and other people need to accept who Augie is, uh, for who Augie is and not how he looks.
Well, I agree with you, Miles, but I also think that it's like part of his life and like how it has different parts. So we've seen other people's perspectives, like videos, which is finished. And, well, yeah.
I agree with Miles and Jaden because he really doesn't understand how he doesn't understand what other people he understands what other people think of him, but he just doesn't want to do the hard things in life. He just tries to stay in this little box that he's comfortable in, but he needs to get out of the box.
I agree with Miles and Jaden and Carter that like he needs to do stuff by himself and go to school and stuff.
I agree with Lexi because I think Augie, the more Augie grows up, then the more he'll need to like separate from his parents and his sisters, and he won't always have protection by his side.
I agree with you all that he does need to do things on his own without his parents or sister.
I agree with Augie because Augie's not going to school with anybody and he's in a different school as Via is, so Via's not there to protect him. So he needs to grow up a little bit.
Yeah, I agree with Chloe. I agree with Chloe because he's just trying to create his own little box, his own little shield to protect him from other people, and you can't do that. He just needs to grow up more.
Do you see that as a theme?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I agree with Miles because he can't just think he can't do anything by himself just because of his looks. So he needs to just not think of that and just do what other people do.
I think we all agree that Augie needs to have more of be more independent and start growing up. Trinity, what do you think?
Well, I agree with everyone because he is going to grow up one day and he needs to learn how to do things on his own.
Well, I agree with everyone also because, like how Miles said, that he was trying to create a box and shield, and I'm going to transition over to the conflict, like how people were bullying him, and what else? Like how when he walked in the day of Halloween, and he heard Jack, he overheard Jack and Julian talking about him. Like, for an example, Jack said that he wished that he was never, if he was him, that he'd kill himself and stuff like that.
I'd like to add to Jaden's thought because Augie is getting bullied a lot and they're basing him off of what he looks like instead of what he is inside.
I think the conflict is like what you guys said, Augie getting bullied and starting new things.
I would like to add to that, to what you guys are saying. I think the conflict is people being judgmental towards others and just not wanting to accept people for who they really are and just seeing how they look or anything like that. They're not trying to learn who the person is or anything.
I agree with Miles most of the part, but I disagree a little bit because if I had facial problems like Augie, I would too be scared to go in public.
I agree with Miles because people shouldn't stare at other people.
I agree with Miles and Carter because Carter took it from Augie's perspective himself, and like I would be scared myself to go out in public and stuff like that. But we all have our own facial experiences and our own personalities, our own traits and stuff like that.
I agree with Miles because if they got to know him, they might like him.
I also agree with you just about that because if they did get to know him, they would like him more than normal because like when they were doing the tour, how Julian asked what was wrong with his face and stuff like that, and Charlotte said to Julian right to his face, like, that's rude, why would you say that, and stuff like that.
I agree with you, but I also think that all of the kids kind of know each other well, but Augie was a new kid and he's just coming in, so, and like, if I overheard Jack Will saying stuff about me, and then I would think that everybody else was doing the same as him.
I agree with Chloe because if I was a new kid who looked different, or I don't want to say it, but like deformed or whatever, even though I don't want to say that, I would be scared to go out and go to school every day because even though I would make a few friends, it's just like no one else knows you and they're just talking about how you look and everything.
I agree with Miles and Carter because it wouldn't be easy for Augie to get out and accept the way how people look at him. It would take time to do that, and I think that for joining school and doing this well, handling it this well, I think he's doing good.
Trinity, what do you think?
Well, I mostly agree with all of you because people are making fun of him just because of his looks, but they're not trying to get to know him. They're just supposing he's a freak.
I think that we can all agree that the conflict is mainly about how Augie needs to like how he's stepping up and how it's difficult for him to get out and being bullied and starting new things.
Okay, well, I agree with Aubrey because it's him trying to get out there and be around other people. It's just making it more and more difficult for him.
Okay, I'm gonna have to stop you there. I need to do because you guys want to talk more. I love you. Okay, so you didn't even truly get to the third question, right?
No.
So you need more time?
Yeah.
The next discussion, we'll have more time, we'll be even more excited for that time. Okay, outside circle, what did stay where you are. What did the inside circle do right? Amy.
They got a really good conversation.
Yeah, they did get a good conversation going. Good, Zoe.
They asked Trinity what she thought.
Yeah, invited in people who hadn't been real talkative. Good, Claire.
They use I think, and I think we can all agree.
Yeah, good summaries, kind of synthesizing what we had said, what you guys had said, and summarizing what it was so we could kind of come to a conclusion. Good. Isaac?
I think they did a good job of agreeing and disagreeing with them.
Yeah, very polite, and it was made known what you were agreeing and disagreeing with. Good. Okay, what are some things that maybe we could improve on? That the outside circle will go, oh, we need to do a better job of this. Okay. Okay, so change it up a bit. Okay, and remember that you're agreeing with an idea instead of a person. So instead of I agree with her, you know, what is it that you're agreeing with? What idea is it that you're agreeing with?
We kind of had time in between everyone talked. Like no one. Sometimes there was 10, 15 seconds where no one talked.
Well, it might have seemed like 10 or 15 seconds, but it probably wasn't. But is that a bad thing or
it's not
I
like
think-
a bad thing, but it's it happened kind of
So maybe keeping
keeping it going.
it going, the momentum going, and part of the way that you could do that is changing up the I agrees, because that gives more energy to it when you have differences. Chloe?
I think we could have asked more like questions and said, so like, what, can you add more to your thought?
Yeah, can you add more to that? Why do you believe that? What from the text? Do you have an example from the text? Good. All right, okay, very quickly and quietly switch roles. The inside circle that just got done is now on the outside circle. Quiet, I need to sign off this. The outside circle is now on the inside. Oh, sitting here.
Is the camera on? Yeah, Alex. Yeah, it's not bad.
All right. All right. Right, you may begin.
To start things off, I think the inner circle before was right about the conflict about him being bullied, but we didn't really talk about Mia's perspective about her being bullied, about her being Miranda and Ella and whatever her name is. We didn't really talk about that. So
I agree with Keaton, because they really didn't talk about his perspective and how her life was going and how she was helping Augie getting through some stuff.
I agree with Kaden and Aiden, because Via, used to be really good friends with her other friends. Can't remember their name, but now they're not even that close together anymore because they've changed, and
I agree with Isaac because Via because Via's friends are changing from what they usually are.
do you have a different perspective? Do you think something else?
Do you think that change is possibly a topic that our author is developing into a theme?
I would like to add to Isaac's point about how Leah's friends were stopped being her friends, and when your friends change, it makes it hard to get new friends.
I agree with Brooklyn because when your friends are when you go to middle school, your friends change and they might want to change their looks, and it can make it harder to find other friends because you might be afraid that the new friends you find will change too.
Do you have anything to say, Zoe? Zoe?
I agree with Claire. Because it is hard to find other friends. Because some people might have 2 or some might have more friends.
I think we all agree about one of the conflicts of Via having her thing with her friends, but one of the other things is that she really didn't have much of a childhood because since when she was born, she kind of had a childhood, but her childhood kind of stopped
when Augie was born, and she didn't really get to live on from there.
I choose Kaden, and because like when she stayed home, when Augie called in to get his stomach, she was like upset because she never really gets to spend time with her mom.
I agree with Kylie because, like, if you never got to spend time with your mom alone and, like, you always had a little brother or sister around, it would be really hard to, like, hang out and, like, talk about stuff.
I agree with Brooklyn and Kylie, but I would like to add and say, Augie's mom probably doesn't have any time to spend with Via because she's always, their mom is always probably busy with maybe scheduling doctor's appointments or making sure Augie is like okay.
I agree with all of them, but I think Via is like acting like her mom, like she's taking care of Via, so their mom could have time to herself and she can like relax. And Via's like persuading Augie to go to the Halloween parade and by saying, "I'll give you all my candy," and he agreed with it.
Alex, what do you think?
I agree with them. I think because if, like, her mother never got from like time alone, she'd get old, cranky, end up like upset. Maybe.
Do you have a different perspective, or do you think something else? I think that one of the other things is like the theme that we haven't talked about yet. It was I kind of think it was like something like what Miles said in the first one about it. I don't know what the word was, but it was, and he was being bullied, and he was being bullied and all that stuff. And the theme is kind of like don't judge a boy by his face or whatever it's up there. Yeah.
I agree with Kaden because people are judging Augie by his face, and they shouldn't do that.
Now I think that one of the other ones is empathy. Like the author's like trying to show you empathy by trying to like figure out what it was like being in other shoes.
Pick up on that right after the, just another minute. Keep going, we've got another minute on your screen.
Like I said about empathy, like she's trying. I think RJ Policio is trying to give us empathy, like show what it's like to live in someone's shoes.
I agree with Kane because like having a face disorder would probably be hard because of all the looks and stuff people would give you. Like people wouldn't want to be around you probably because like they don't know who you actually are.
I agree with Brooklyn because like the empathy, when you think about empathy, you might be thinking like, oh, if I had those disorders and if I was walking around like the town and I would just see people just looking at me and they don't know like who I actually am and they think that I'm so different.
What do you think, Zoe?
I agree with Claire because it's not nice to like make fun of somebody behind their back and they don't know, but then they would know that you're staring at them. And then, like if they walk away, they probably feel sad because they get made fun of.
Perspective.
Yeah, you're right up here. Wow, good job, guys. You guys all did it. Yeah. What are some great things? The insight circle. Subscribe.
talk loud enough so that you can hear them?
Yeah, volume's pretty good, yeah, Aubrey?
A lot of them, I know the inner circle didn't do as much. They were like, did you have another perspective on this? Or do you have evidence to back that up, like those things?
Yeah,
They did
okay.
that more.
Yeah, good,
They like added people in like nicely.
yeah. Invited them into the conversation, good.
I think that they did well because some talked about empathy and stuff like that.
Yeah, brought up some things that we hadn't heard, right? They did a nice job. Mason?
They also talked about Via's perspective and his perspective.
Yeah, both of them. Actually, I liked how Caden actually started off the conversation by connecting to the first round, because we're a whole class, not just our little inside circle, but a whole class. And so he did a nice job of connecting those two and being able to discuss some things that the first circle didn't. So that was good. What are some things that we need to keep in mind for improvement? Yes?
Not stutter as much. When some people came to the conversation, they had an idea of what to say, but they didn't exactly know what they were going to say, so they
and
stuttered.
How can you improve on that? What's the first easiest thing to improve on that? Claire?
Maybe they don't like hesitate.
Okay, but even more than that, what will help you not hesitate? Chloe?
Look at your paper.
You're not using your paper, making sure that you've really done your prep work so you know it and actually use your paper. Yep.
I think if you include more people in, they'll like feel better and like have more confidence.
Yeah, the confidence level, and you guys will see that improvement throughout the year. Your confidence just keeps getting better and better. You guys have started on such a great level. Carter?
You could think of it before you talk.
Yep, think before you speak. Exactly. Chloe?
I think that the people that didn't come up in so much, they should push themselves forward to go in.
Yep, we all have to challenge ourselves. You're right. Carter, Jane?
And also like how Carter said, we should come prepared, like if you wanted to, you could listen and say it inside your head.
Yep.
Like maybe if, say like Brooklyn is talking and there's something that I agree with her, you can like start putting the sentence that you're gonna say together in your head.
Yeah, and you can even, I'm gonna piggyback on what you just said, you can even write a word or two down on your paper because you all have something in front of you, paper and pencil that you had, that you prepared with, and you can write little notes on that, and that'll help you paper too. One last thing, point.
I saw that some of them, like when they were talking, they kind of covered their mouths a little bit.
Yeah, and that's a confidence thing, and you'll find that you will improve in your confidence in that. And that is something though that, because we need to be able to hear, and that, like that, it turns it up. Okay, you guys did a fantastic job. Take a break, back with your headphones.